Hey, Petey. So today is your mom and I's 30th anniversary. So allow me to clarify a little bit. We met 30 years ago today, and this is what we consider our big anniversary. July 1st, 1994. That is the first time we ever met. So our wedding anniversary is in October, and that'll be fewer years. We got married 4 years later, so that'll be 26 years. But we call this our 30th anniversary is how we count. So first, just to clear that up, the wedding is when you invite everybody and tell them and legally sign the papers and everything. The day we met, that's when our history started. So I've been thinking about, you know, marriages are a whole different thing nowadays. We have divorce rates are through the roof, and it's so much so that there's a whole generation now considering marriage not a thing. And I get it. I'm not arguing that point. That's not why I'm here today for this little my PD video. But I started thinking about, as after we got married and we're, got the house and we're raising you, and people would say, as couples were having problems and maybe there would be divorces in the neighborhood and stuff, they'd always kind of finish up conversations with us with, oh, but Ken and Tina, they'll be together forever. And I don't know why they were kind of joking about it. I mean, they were serious, but they were joking, but it was said a lot. But I can tell you from your mom and I's standpoint, there's a couple of things that stand out to me as to why that is. So I'm going to go back to my great grandparents again, and they sassed each other relentlessly, but nobody ever looked at them and said, "Oh, they're having a rough time." They went through some way rougher times than our generations have gone through, and they would just going at each other, but it was out of love. They were sassing each other and razzing each other and picking on each other. And if you were standing outside of it, it sounded like they were going at each other, but it was all out of love. And I think that the point was that they both knew neither one was going anywhere. So they could be just open and honest and pick on each other, and everybody understood. And even if there was a fight and smoldering, that no one ever, you didn't leave. They knew that neither was going to cheat on the marriage. They knew neither was going to leave the marriage. It didn't matter. They were in it. They were committed. They were a marriage. They were in it for the long haul. And that was and is being in love. Now, I know I've talked about this topic before, the difference between love and in love. And I think it's worth touching on, because the more I think about it, the more I think maybe that's the difference nowadays. People will say, well, I love them, so I'm going to get married. And I know we've always described to you, we have a lot of people that will consider family. I'm not going to say consider family. From your own experience and from our own experience, there are people in our lives that are family. I say to people, no, we don't think of them as family. They are family. Even though they're not blood, they're family. That's what makes family, that you love them. And when I say you love them, you will, no matter what, you'll be there for them. They'll be there for you. Even if there's, fights and arguments and quiet periods and disagreements, it'll always fix itself. It'll always come back together, whether that be a day, a week, a month, or however long. That one way or another, you're going to get over that little tension, and whatever it is, you'll find your way back. And even during that tension, you'll be there for them. So they are family. You love them. Here's the difference. You are in love with your spouse. Now, I've tried to describe this before. When you say I'm in love with that person, to me, the implication of that is that spousal relationship, spousal relationship, the husband-wife style relationship, the committed relationship of marriage per se, okay? As opposed to, you are my child, I love you, okay? I'm not in love with you in the same way that I'm in love with mommy, okay? But I love you. You are my child. When as we adopt family members, as I have, once we adopt someone, they're adopted. It doesn't matter what happens. If the person calls, we're there for them. I'm going to call that love. I'm going to call a husband and wife in love. And there's just something different, and you don't know it until it is, but you just know it. And to me, that is the difference of, I think a lot of people get to that. Well, I love this person. Yes, you care about them. They are to the ends of the earth, to the moon and back, would do anything for them, would be there for them, would that as a child or a brother or a sister or or your father or your mother or cousin or whatever. Okay, that there's that. Okay. And that's why you can have family members that aren't blood, because you can feel that strongly and care about someone and see the good in someone and care about them, like your group of friends that you'll be there for them. Okay. And I know you have friends in your group that are that. I can list them off. It's different with me and mommy that we are in love. Wish I could explain that better. But I think that's what's changed. People take I really, really, really care about this person, and I will always be there for them no matter what happens. And they don't understand that there's this other piece. There's this other thing that you just know and is just there. And even with your closest friends and those family members that we adopt in, you may still, there are certain conversations you just don't get in about policy. You agree to disagree, and or whatever. I'm using politics as an example because the election's coming. But there's just things. It's like, okay, yeah, we just agree on these points, and okay, oh well, we'll kind of, we'll debate it a little bit every once in a while. But when you're in love with someone, you can fully go into that conversation, and that person's not going anywhere, and you're not going anywhere. And that's important that you can be open. That also means that you can razz the bejeebas out of them. Now, you and me and mommy do that to this group of people quite a bit also. We razz. That's how we show love. Yeah. But to this one, mommy and I can just pick on each other relentlessly. It just is. It is what it is. Because we both know that we're going to be there. We're always going to be there for each other. We're always going to be there for you. That's just what it is. So that's the only thing I can come up with as to why people would look at me and mommy and say, well, they're always going to be together, and why mommy and I have stuck out through things, and why mommy is so comfortable with me adopting people and you adopting people, because she knows I'm not going anywhere. That's how I mean that I care about, Erica and you and all our little group of family. Okay. But she knows I'm not going anywhere. I'm not, and I know she's not going anywhere. I don't know. I'm rambling on now. But anyway, I think that's the difference now. I think that people have lost the understanding of love versus in love, as I would define them. So that's my spiel. Happy anniversary to me and mommy. So love you to the moon and back, Petey.